If there's one thing that defines life here in Baghdad at this time of year, it sounds like a pedestrian thing, but it really is the defining feature of life here. It's the heat. It affects how you feel. It affects how you think. It affects your health. It affects the daily pace of life here. It affects what you need, and it therefore affects who you need things from. Hold on.
What, you sweating a little bit? Come on.
I'm looking forward to going home without my water weight, darling.
Well, it looks very nice, but the black T-shirt was not a great idea.
You know, the black T-shirt is good for in terms of the what it looks like to sweat this much. I'm not going to say anything.
I was like, black T-shirt. That'd be interesting.
Look at you. You're in dark green.
Yeah, but black is significantly different. And this is made of plastic.
I know. I have the wiki thing too.
The wiki thing.
It's plastic. What that means is it's flammable.
It's very flammable.
Yeah, which is actually bad news. But I love how you can find something to be judgmental about even when you totally haven't earned it. You're wearing like one shade lighter than me, and you're like, girl,
it's not black. It's not black. It's not black. But yeah, it's so hot.
What is it right now? Like 1:15?
Yeah, and it's morning. I mean, it's just noon. I think it's probably more than 1:15. I mean, it's been getting up to 1:25 during the day.
It's amazing how much that defines the experience of what it is to be here.
You can't escape it.
I was this is a tiny little anecdote, but moving into military housing last night, the public affairs officer who's checking us in said, make sure you don't shower at night. You want to wait till morning until you shower. And I said, why? She said, well, the cold water will scald you. Because the water's in tanks, sitting in pipes all night, and it's been getting hot all day, you will get burned by the cold water. And so the cold water won't be cool enough to not burn you until the morning. So I thought, oh, right, this is
you can't escape it.
Yeah.
It is that hot.
Yeah.
And dusty and flat and ugly. The Ottomans, I think a lot about Ottoman history. By the way, hated Iraq.
Really?
There are Ottoman poems that describe it as, well, in unflattering four-letter words, and then say, Baghdad, it is excrement, and it is infernally hot.
Wow.
I'll get you the phone. I think they're from the 17th century.
I mean, when you fly in, though, and you fly over the Tigris, though, and you see the cultivated fields that are, you see the Fertile Crescent, you see between the Tigris and the Euphrates, and you see what they have been able to make of it. You can imagine, the gardens of Babylon. You can imagine all of those things. It's now been a war zone for 30 years.
And it's not doing so well. This country imports fruit and vegetables from Turkey.
It's incredible.
So it's not, and the biggest problem is the power. Because they don't have power, people can't move water. Gas has gotten very expensive to put in people's generators. Today, Fallujah, I just hung up the phone with someone in Fallujah. They have had 2 hours of power in 3 days.
Oh, my God.
So this is the city where Americans had 2 major combat operations. American troops are leaving. And in Fallujah, people are desperate. 2 hours of power in 3 days. They had 15 minutes of power this morning, and then it went off. When we talk about the power, it comes, for an hour or 4 hours a day. It comes in an hour, it comes in 10 minutes, it comes in 5 minutes, it comes in little spurts.
Yeah.
And when it comes, by the way, it blows out all of your appliances.
Right, because you haven't had
it for a while.
You just think about that. This is the country with the second largest oil reserves in the world that does not have enough energy to have power even for an hour at a time all over the country, even including in the capital city. And on top of that, America is in year 9 of a full-scale, massive occupation and war here, and we're leaving with that being the circumstance.
That's the especially since it's hot, since it's Ramadan, people are fasting. That's the taste that people have in their mouth right now.
It's bitter.
Will that change later on in a few years, maybe even when it cools down? I hope so. Yeah. But that's the taste they have in their mouth right now. Did you want to go inside before we die from the heat?
Out? What Richard Engel is talking about there, I did get to see firsthand. The single most eye-opening thing I have seen on this entire trip to Iraq when we come back.